Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do your February the 7th just for today in a meditation. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Let's go ahead and get into the meditation. It is entitled, This is Not a Test. We have found a loving, personal God to whom we can turn. That's a quote from the basic text, page 27. Some of us come into recovery with the impression that life's hardships are a series of cosmic tests designed to teach us something. This belief is readily apparent when something traumatic happens and we wail. A higher power is testing me. We're convinced that it's a test of our recovery when someone offers us drugs, or a test of our character when faced with a situation where we could do something unprincipled without getting caught. We may even think it's a test of our faith when we're in great pain over a tragedy in our lives. But a loving higher power doesn't test our recovery, our character, or our faith. Life just happens, and sometimes it hurts. Many of us have lost love through no fault of our own. Some of us have lost all of our material wealth. A few of us have even grieved the loss of our own children. Life can be terribly painful at times, but the pain is not inflicted on us by our higher power. Rather, that power is constantly by our sides, ready to carry us if we can't walk by ourselves. There is no harm that life can do us that the God of our understanding can't heal. Just for today, I will have faith that my higher power's will for me is good and that I am loved. I will seek my higher power's help in times of need. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. What a powerful meditation. This is not a test. This is real life, right? It's not a test. And a lot of times we come to recovery, we come to the program of Narcotics Anonymous. I can at least say that I did, with a concept, right? This ideal that had already been poured into me and became a part of my belief system, that life was a test, that the God of my understanding that I had known was always trying me, was always testing me, was always looking to see whether or not I would live up to this high standard of sociability, this high standard of religiosity, this high standard of all these different things. There was very little room with that higher power for me to be human, which was really contradictory because I believe that this higher power created all human beings, right? Is responsible for the human race being created, in other words. And so it was a conflict for me to think that this higher power had no grace for humanity, because I was always being taught that there was a penalty for the shortcomings, the things that we talk about that we call character defects in step 6, and the shortcomings that come as a result of the character defects that we want to have removed from us, right? are called shortcomings in step 7. And there was no way that I could have character defects and shortcomings and have a relationship that was meaningful to me with the God of my understanding, with my higher power that I claim to love and to have and be guided by. That's why a lot of times people struggle when they come to Narcotics Anonymous, is because this perception of their higher power doesn't add up with their life experience. And their life experience doesn't add up with the higher power they claim to have. And they have this ideal in some kind of way that their higher power is a bit antagonistic, always challenging, always testing, always looking to see if you can meet the mark or if you're going to miss the mark. True enough, when we encounter difficulty, true enough, when we encounter lost relationships, death of a loved one, death of a child, loss of a job, a divorce, a catastrophic event that is happening more and more every day with all of these earthquakes. My goodness, what's going on in Turkey is ridiculous. Blocks and blocks, city blocks of buildings just crumbling down, people trapped underneath them. Some of those people, no doubt, are in recovery. People are losing things left and right due to hurricanes, homelessness, chronic homelessness, mental illness. There are so many components to living life on a day-to-day basis where pretty much all of us can say we've lost something. And if we're being honest and look at our perspective on those losses or those challenges, a lot of us would have to admit that we think that those things were sent to us to cause us to pay better attention to our relationship spiritually with God, or we were being given an opportunity to see just how strong our faith actually was. I think even yesterday in a meeting, I made a comment about me realizing that my codependent behavior was revealing to me that I still have a level of faith that needs work. I need to grow in. And now, not at any time did I say that God was, making me, release this person, right? Well, actually, I feel like I did say that. I do feel like in that particular meeting, I indicate, which is revelatory even for me right now, right? And so in reading this today, I can honestly say that there's still this piece of me that believes I'm being tested, that my faith has to meet a certain mark. And all of us probably have this to some degree. And it saddens me. It saddens me because on one hand, I have a God of my understanding that is loving and caring, cares for me. But on the other hand, the same God of my own understanding is not loving and caring, can care for those that I care for. Right? And it's perplexing. It's deeply perplexing. And I don't have to have all the answers, nor do you. Nor do you. The point of this just for today in a meditation is that it is challenging. It's challenging me deeply right now to look at my point of view of the God of my own understanding. And after doggone it, after almost all of these years, it seems very apparent to me. I don't know if you could hear the distress in my voice or not, but it seems very apparent in my most authentic being that there's still this tiny little hook of religiosity that is holding on to me and not allowing me to fully embrace a loving and caring higher power that can care for me and care for others as well. This is not a program of perfection. This is a program of progress. And I'm hoping by sharing my own experience strengthen. Just like that meeting yesterday. I was actually very certain that the God of my understanding wanted me to get out of the way so another individual could progress in their own recovery. But do you see how quick your mind can switch on that? Because I said clearly, I don't think at any point in time did I say that I felt God was sending this to me. I said something to that effect. But yesterday, that was not what I was thinking. Yesterday, that was not what was on my mind. And I want to be completely authentic with you in this because we have got to get to the point where the God of our understanding is loving and caring, and we truly believe that life just happens. People just make decisions, and sometimes those decisions aren't what we would want them to make, and nor can we save them from the consequences of their own decision making. My core does not believe that the God of my understanding created that to see if I would step away from the vehicle. Does that make sense? Step away from the vehicle, please. No, the core part of me does not believe that. But apparently there's a piece of me that still does. And I own that. I take responsibility for that. And I'm going to get better with that. But by the same token, as you're listening to me, what are your views? What are your beliefs? Are you toting one thing, but it's obvious by the way that you talk and the way that you act that there's a conflict there, there's dissonance there? What's in your head and what's in your heart, there's more distance between those two things than you actually have or know about, rather, than you actually believe that there is. I see that in my own recovery. And change has to come. Change absolutely has to come because the deep, deep core of me believes that my higher power has never left me, has never forsaken me, has never given up on me, and is always ready for me to ask and receive. Whatever it is that I need or want or, or think or feel, through prayer and meditation, I'm not lonely. I enjoy the company of others, but I don't need others. I enjoy it. It makes my life much richer. But through prayer and meditation, I have the fellowship that I seek with my higher power. But I can see that relationship needs work. And I'm truly hoping that you're hearing what I'm saying, because we all have something that is like a little conflict that is keeping us from that next stage of opportunity. So I really have enjoyed expounding on this with you today because it has given me insight. It's given me insight. the difference a day will make. Now, when life does happen, there's a part B to this, right? Sorry it took so long to get to it. Come back to the video if you want to later, if you don't have time to listen. But there's a B part, and I want to make sure I hit this on the head, right? This is not a test. There's a B part. When we are experiencing life on its own terms, and life is just happen, I have an opportunity, just like I just experienced yesterday and today. I have an opportunity to see where I am. It gives me an opportunity to see where I am. And in that sense, I do believe that God is loving and caring and wants the best for me, wants me to develop into the best human being that I could possibly be, that reflects the deepest level of love and goodwill towards the whole human race, not just part of it, all of it, right? Principles before personalities. I believe that. For that, I'm grateful. I'm not going to fly through life passing every test because this is not a test. This is life. And as a result of it being life, there are going to be times where, there's going to be times where my emotions get in the way of me being able to think clearly through a situation. I may make the wrong decision. I may not make the best decision all the time, but I do make good decisions most of the time. Did you hear that? I may not make the best decision all of the time, but I do make good decisions most of the time. And that's because my spirit is guided by my relationship of prayer and meditation and my higher power. And then I have honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. I have the ability to allow people to speak into my life today. Today, I want for you to look at your own situation and see if there's any religiosity trying to hold on to your perception of your higher power. And what part of that needs to be adjusted? Do you think life is a test? A whole series of passing and failing tests so that you can see just how little spiritual principles you have or how much you do have? Or are you like that? Or do you say on one hand, one day that you're like that, then the next day you're not? That sounds like confusion for myself, and I'm sure if I have it, other people probably have it. But it's not condemning, right? It's not condemning. It's revealing. It just reveals that I'm not where I want to be, but I definitely am not where I was. I'm in the process. I'm in the flow, and you've been in the flow. You've been in the flow. So get out there and do something mighty with your day. Have a beautiful day. I hope that you've enjoyed this meditation as much as I have. I know that I have utterly enjoyed it. And I'm going to have a beautiful day. It's 4:40 a.m. in the morning. Many of you aren't even up yet. And I just know that when you get to this, you're going to be like, oh my goodness. She said a whole lot in that. Yeah, because it's important for us to be honest with each other and develop a community with one another. And for those of you that are listening, I have a lot of subscribers, but just like myself, I subscribe to a lot of things. And I don't watch half of the things that I subscribe to, but to those that are listening regularly, I greet you this morning. I hope that you have the best February 7th you have ever had. Have a beautiful day on purpose. Go into the descriptions down below. In about 24 hours, I will be hosting or chairing, I rather say chairing, an international online marathon meeting of NA. And that link is there. I will be on that meeting at 4:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for exactly 1 hour shift, 5 to 6 a.m. Also, you can leave comments down below and I will respond. I also started covering step one. You'll see it in my video. And again, I'm having a surgery on the 15th. I'm going to pre-record 1 week's worth, 1 week's worth of the Just for the Day and Spiritual Principle Day in a meditation. So I'm trying to look out for you guys. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day on purpose. You deserve it. And you can join me in my home group called Feel the Love group. We have a speaker coming this next Monday. You can join us at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That information is also in the link. We would love to have you with us. It's a small, quaint group, but it's a lovely, very spiritual and sound and honest sharing. Look forward to hearing from you. Have a beautiful day and take care.